What's up, everybody? Good morning. We're going to do a quick body off comparison of the scx10 and the Traxxas trx-4. One of the first things we're going to talk about is the actual diffs. As you can see, these are the Porter axles, and they have the gear reduction at the hub, as you can tell. And here's the scx10. Now, on the new ones, the scx10 too, it doesn't come down at the bottom quite as far, but even then, it still significantly, comes down lower than the Portal does. So the Portal gives it more ground clearance. As you can tell, the tires are not significantly taller; they're a little bit taller, but these are also bigger tires. These come almost exactly the same size as the Super Swamper XL, and these are the regular Super Swampers from Proline. So not an apples to apples comparison, just so you guys know that are watching this video. A couple things up here. Basically, the scx10 has a servo up front, ESC, and receiver box right there. With the Traxxas, you can see it's got the servo up front, but it's on the top. And also, you have the motor right there as well. It's a little bit wider. The frame is not any wider. I mean, if you look at the frames, they look very identical. The Traxxas or the scx10 has, the rock rails that come out, as you can see, as does the Traxxas. What Traxxas has done, as you can see, it's a little bit wider, not much. Okay, not dramatic, but it's a little bit wider. They filled it in, made a floor pan out of it, just like if you think about it, a real vehicle has a floor pan as well. And they put the ESC, of course, on the floor pan, as well as the micro servos, and that's the servo for the high and low on the transmission. And it works just like the Summit does. Those are the micro. It has the cables going right actually to the diff. It's kind of hard to see, but there you go. You can see the cable right there going right into the diff. We do some articulation here. The tire goes about halfway up, which is pretty standard. Same thing with the Traxxas. It goes about halfway up as well. So articulation wise, you're pretty equal. Obviously, the battery's in the back. Now, I do have the parts. I got to get some additional hardware, and I am going to move this battery up front. Obviously, that came with the kit or the ready to run. I just haven't done it, and that's really it. This has been a lot of fun, and I haven't done anything to it. Obviously, it's completely stock except for the bead locks, and these do have a little bit of weight in them. So weight wise, I mean, whoa, that was close. That almost fell on the head there. We might have had to have the ambulance in this video. Alright, so that's that. Let me show you the difference in the wheelbase. Now that's with the back tires, being flush in the back here. If you wanted to, line up the center to center, there you go. Okay. Height-wise, it's kind of hard to tell, but I mean, as far as the, the floor pan, it's obviously a little bit higher, but then again, it's supposed to be because the tires are higher. See? So these are the XL version. Even though this is a stock tire, I'm just saying in comparison to the Super Swampers, which I'm about to show you, by the way, because I have those. It's taller than the normal stock non-XL version. Okay, so this is not an apples to apples. If I had the XL version, it would definitely bring it up and make it the height very similar, as you can see. I mean, it just would. So there you go. So as far as with the body off, I don't see either one of them having an advantage or a disadvantage as far as side healing. You know, I think a lot of that's going to be on the tires and how those are tuned. Let's see, what else do we have here to show. The wheelbase, it is adjustable, so you can move it up quite a bit. This is a high voltage XL5, so it's 3S LiPo ready, which is why I'm running a 3S 5000. Apparently it'll run for a couple hours on that, which is pretty awesome. It comes standard in the what's called the trail mode. So trail mode basically has, you know, some drag brake on it, but it's not, you know, the hardcore crawl mode, but it does have the crawl mode as well. So if you're trailing, mostly what I do, you're gonna have it in the standard trail mode. If you're doing some really hardcore crawling, you know, Moab style, then you just throw it in the crawl profile. And it comes with instructions, very simple. Manual for this is actually very short, very basic, right to the point. I like it. Cruise control, I'll have to show you when we go in here to look at the bodies and talk a little bit more about the tires, but cruise control is pretty easy to set up, and works. It's pretty neat the way it works, and we'll explain that more. But front motor, battery in the center, I mean, really good layout, much better ground clearance. So I don't know, it's not a lot to not like about it. Like I say, you know, with the 2-speed transmission, you know, being able to lock and unlock the diff, it's pretty cool. Now, one thing I noted, a comment, somebody on one of the videos commented, well, why would you have because as far as when you lock the disc from the remote, it locks the front diff first, and then the next time, you push the switch forward one more time, and then it locks the rear. So both front and rear are locked. And somebody was like, well, why would you lock the front first? Because, you know, on a 1-to-1 vehicle, typically the rear is going to lock first and then the front. Well, the reason for that is because when you're going up really steep stuff, this right here, just locking the front, can actually help pull you up. And that's what it says on the Traxxas website as well. So I kind of cheated there, but I knew that anyway. From, you know, you hardcore crawlers know that you would just, you know, they would actually deactivate the rear axle and just pull up with the front. So you're still going to have one tire spinning in the back, but it'll still, you know, you get the point. So kind of a cool feature, and they thought of about everything. So reverse rotation, 21 turn, 550. I don't know if I'll go brushless on this or not. I mean, I kind of like the way it runs now, so we'll see. Those are really cheap and inexpensive to replace. Alright, so that's that. Real quick, let's go ahead and flip them over, just so I can show you the difference in the actual width. And you're going to have to bear with me. I'm having to do some shuffling here to get this charger out of the way. Alright, sorry about that. So width-wise, it's definitely wider, obviously. Slamming them both up against the wall, give you more of an accurate measurement there without using measuring tape. Yeah, I'm being lazy. There you go. Now, one thing I don't like about this unit, an easy fix, Axial obviously has a little bit more crawling experience, so they have the bumper that's cut off, so this gives you less likely chances of getting hung up on a rock. A lot of rocks here in the south, so this right here has got to go. I'm probably just going to get a different bumper once aftermarket comes out with something, but in the meantime I'm going to chop it off with a Dremel or something right here and right here. So no big deal there, but kind of surprised Traxxas didn't see that and just go ahead and make the bumper as is, but shortened. But no big deal. Other than that, I guess for some real quick, before we go talk about the tires and the body, I didn't think about this. You a little bit better value here, or you're getting a good deal, I guess. It's $100 more essentially than this one, ballpark. You're gonna get, flipping it over, and let's flip this one over as well. Plastic. Okay. Drive shafts look cheap in plastic. They are. Cheap plastic. Steering link with the Traxxas. You're going to get all steel steering links right off the bat. You're going to get all steel links just like you would get if you had to buy the kit and spend all that time putting it together. Not my thing. Nothing wrong with putting kits together though. Eventually I'm going to do one just because. But I'm not really into building kits. These drive shafts, to me, just from looking, they actually look stronger on the Traxxas. They look tougher, but that's yet to be determined. Drive shaft angle. This is something that you guys need to think about. The angle on this is basically, there isn't much of an angle. You see that? Whereas when you look on this one here, look how dramatic that angle is. I mean, that's pretty dramatic. In comparison to this one. So pretty much almost a flat angle with the drive shafts. But as far as the frame goes, I mean, the sizes are very, very comparable. Is it a little bit longer? Of course it's a little bit longer because of the way the bumper is, and also for all you scale folks out there, the Defender itself. If you want to be scale, the Defender is longer, taller, has more ground clearance stock to stock than a Jeep Wrangler. So that's to be expected. So, but let's go talk about the body, and hopefully I have the spare tire in here for the Traxxas. Alright, and I do. So, here we go. Alright. That's that. Those are that. And that's the Super Swampers that I just bought. I've got the Proline beadlock rims. I actually already installed one. Stripped 5 screws because when I installed the tire, or the rim onto the tire, it was just too soft and it was gonna not do the best at side healing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the Proline dual stage foams. And the hobby shop opens up at 12 o'clock, so hopefully they'll have some in stock, but we'll find out. If not, then I'm just gonna run it today with the Canyons. If weather permitting, we got some crazy weather, but we'll see how that works. But again, I wish I would have kept the rim on there because I just took it off about 10 minutes ago. They're almost identical. The Super Swamper is, when you have the rim on it, is just a hair bit taller than the Canyon Trail. Not much. And then the Canyon Trail is just, I mean, a fraction wider. Not enough to even talk about, in my opinion. Transmitter, we can talk much about that. This switch right here, all the way to the left, is open diff. One flick, that's going to lock the front diff. One more, and that locks both diffs. This is your high and low, so that's pretty straightforward. And then, if you want a second cruise control, you pull the trigger to the speed you want, and you simply hit the set button right there. That's it. Hit the set button, release the trigger, and off you go. And what's really neat is that you can accelerate and then when you let off the trigger, it'll go right back to the speed you set it at. So then the way you deactivate it is just like a car, you hit the brake. So that's kind of a cool feature. So cruise control, we'll see how that works. Alright, so over here to the bodies. Now, somebody commented on one of my videos how he thought it was too tall and didn't really have a true 1/10 scale appearance. Well, I'm going to have to correct you on that one, and the reason for that, and the body itself, first of all, has a roof rack on it, but if you were to have a stock Jeep, Rubicon 4-door and a stock Defender, and you put them side by side, go online and check this out yourself, the Defender's taller. I mean, that's a given. I mean, look at the back. I mean, you have that door, you have a huge area in the back for cargo. It's 4-door. I mean, it's longer, it's taller, it has more ground clearance. I mean, the Defender itself in a 1-to-1 world is a bigger machine than a stock Jeep 4-door, period. So I have to disagree. So the length is a little bit longer, but it's longer in real life. I mean, you have a very short bed in the back behind the seat. That's significantly longer, as you can just tell. It has much more room in the back. It's like a true SUV. So height-wise, it's not significant, but the Defender is taller. It is absolutely a little taller than the Jeep stock Jeep. And so that's that. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's not significant, and I say it's pretty darn accurate scale-wise. So, and back to the top heavy, you got to understand, I was really referring on some serious crawling that's testing the extremes to both the scx10 axial and this one, and didn't have the decent tires on it, and also it is, I mean, when you're on extreme stuff, it's definitely going to be a little more top heavy. So would it be in the 1-to-1 world? I mean, that's just based on the type of vehicle it is. But it's not that bad. And even when you're, running around in the yard, I mean, it doesn't want to, flip over. I mean, it's when you're gunning it in high gear, so it's pretty good actually. But that's really all there is to that. I mean, I'm going to flip the body over. There you go. Give you kind of a comparison to the front. If you want me to go ahead and show you, I guess, the width-wise, for all you scale folk guys out there. I mean, put the frame to frame. I mean, it's not, there you go. Again, the Defender in the real world is a bigger machine than the Jeep. So, that's that. Anyway, real quick video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm going to get this bad boy out later on the day as well. So I have another video of that. But right now, it's all about this. So, Traxxas trx-4. I'm going to the hobby shop as a reminder, everybody, to buy the inserts. If I cannot get the inserts, I'm still going to try to do a run the day, weather permitting, in an area that has some really good scale off-road trailing. So hopefully weather allows me to get that up today. So thanks for watching, and I definitely recommend you guys go buy this vehicle. It's going to be a good one for sure. So that's that. Good day.